Hey, what is going on, guys? Lon here from Android Authority, and this is the LG G Watch R, the latest Android Wear smartwatch to date, and probably one of the most highly anticipated Android Wear smartwatches of the year. So let's go ahead and just get right into it and not waste any time and take a closer look at the LG G Watch R. So the biggest problem with a lot of smartwatches right now is the fact that they don't look like normal watches. For the select few of us that have adopted smartwatches so far, we also want them to look like a standard timepiece, one that is going to blend in with your overall style and not stick out like a sore thumb. And LG believes that being smart does not mean you have to sacrifice style, and that's why they created the G Watch R. And I'm going to start right off the bat and say this is the most beautifully designed smartwatch I have ever had the pleasure of using. And I'm not just saying that because it has a round face. This watch is more than just a pretty round face. It is very elegantly crafted from its metal body to its leather watch strap. Everything about the G Watch R just screams quality, and if you didn't know any better, you would think this was maybe a Nixon or a Citizen watch because it looks every bit like a normal watch. And LG really paid attention to detail here, like the watch lugs on the top and bottom that many normal watches have, which will also make it easier to swap out different colored bands. Then there's these time markings on the face of the watch that don't necessarily add any functionality, but again, this is a design cue that a lot of normal watches tend to have. And last but not least, there's the power button on the side that's designed to look like a winder. So thank you, LG, for including a power button this time around, because not only does it look great, but it really comes in handy. So I mentioned the leather band, and yes, this is a genuine piece of leather, just like it says on the underside of the band. And first thing I noticed was that it's actually a very thick and rigid cut of leather, and I actually like that. It holds its shape better, it's less prone to wear and tear, so it's not as easy to create indentations or markings on the strap. In fact, the only area that has shown any signs of wear is the spot where I put the clasp every time I wear it, but other than that, it still looks pristine. Many of the things that have sort of become a standard among all Android Wear smartwatches are still present here. So it's IP67, making it dust and water resistant. There's a pedometer built in for tracking your steps, and a heart rate monitor for obviously monitoring your heart rate. All in all, I really love the design of the G Watch R, and personally I think LG did a fantastic job with it. Now, one thing that I know a lot of people were concerned about when the G Watch R first showed up on video, and I sort of was too, is the size. But now that I've actually had the G Watch R for a while and I've had the chance to use it, I actually don't think it's that big of a watch. If you're used to wearing watches like G-Shocks or Nixons or Citizen watches, you'll probably think this is a fairly average sized watch, but if you're used to wearing something that's a little bit smaller, then you might think the G Watch R is a big watch. So I guess it's just sort of a matter of perspective, but I personally feel like it's a fairly average sized watch. Moving along, let's talk about the display, and LG is very proud of the display, and they're touting it as the very first full circle POLED display. It's a 1.3 inch screen with a resolution of 320 by 320, and not only is the glass completely round, the entire display is completely round, and it looks just as good as you would expect. It's got great looking colors, solid viewing angles, and it's extremely easy to use in direct sunlight. Even at the lowest brightness setting, I still was able to read the screen fairly easily. There is a slight bezel around the display, but honestly, in everyday use, I don't even notice it, and when you use a dark colored watch face, which there are plenty of, it blends in even more. Powering the G Watch R, you're looking at a Snapdragon 400 processor and half a gig of RAM, and if this was a smartphone, you'd probably be thinking this is a pretty mid-range or low-end device. But this is not a smartphone. It doesn't do half of the things a smartphone can do, so it doesn't need as much power, but the Snapdragon 400 processor performs very well here. Out of all the Android Wear smartwatches that I've used so far, and that includes the original G Watch, the G Watch R has been the most smooth and seamless experience I've had on an Android Wear device. I haven't noticed any lag, whether it's waking the watch up from a deep sleep just to get rid of a notification, scrolling through menus or watch faces, swiping through cards. It's all been a very fast and responsive experience, so I really can't complain here. Since this is an Android Wear smartwatch, it's obviously running Android Wear, And the experience here is pretty much the same as any other Android Wear watch, with the exception of the fact that everything is circular, and Android Wear in general just looks so much better on a circular watch face. So you've got all of your usual Google Now cards like weather, stocks, sports scores that you can swipe through and interact with, along with any other notification that you choose to receive from your watch will show up here as well, like text messages, emails, and whatever else you can think of. The main differentiator of the G Watch R is the watch faces, and all of the watch faces look extremely nice. Some of them are rehashes of ones on the original G Watch, but the ones that are completely brand new look absolutely fantastic and blend in very well with the overall design of the G Watch R. And some of these watch faces offer additional functionality like showing fitness data, useful hiking information like a compass and altitude, and even a world clock. So besides just looking pretty, there's some benefits to using some of these watch faces. So let's talk a little bit about the battery life. It's a 410 milliamp hour battery.